This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to show you through your new Aerolite 2520 RKSL. Okay, so we'll just walk around the outside here. You have a power awning with an LED strip, which we'll go into a little bit more. You've got outside speakers, which you can select inside, outside, or both when it comes to the speakers. There's an outside TV mount, outside power, and antenna if you want to put a TV outside. This is to fill your fresh water tank. If you go like to an older state park, and they don't have plumbing on the campsite, but they have a fill station when you first pull into the park, you'll fill your tank there and then use the onboard water pump to pump it in the trailer to pressurize it. Now most of the time they're going to have city water, so I'll walk you around to the other side and show you where the inlet is for that. Okay, so that will be this one here. This is the city water connection. It takes a regular garden hose fitting, although the hose you normally use will be a water hose. It's just like a garden hose, but it has a different lining in it that doesn't taste like a garden hose. Okay, so 9 times out of 10 you'll be using this. You'll just hook your hose up, turn it on, and it pressurizes the trailer. Also, on this side we have a spray port. There's a spray nozzle, a spray hose with a nozzle that I'll show you. This is your power cord, which is 30 amps, and it's 25 feet long. You can see it going into the wall there. We do give you a reducer, an adapter that will adapt it down to a 15 amp plug. You can power everything in the trailer at home using your 15 amp service, except the air conditioner. The air conditioner draws too many amps to just use your regular 15 amp service at home. So you can run everything in the trailer except the air conditioning. Okay, we have cable through for campground cable to the inside, and then we have just a light here. Okay, now to dump the trailer you have 2 types of tanks. You'll have a gray tank and you'll have a black tank. Now this one has 2 gray tanks and 1 black tank. So back here, we're right behind the rear wheel on the off-door side. This handle operates the gray tank that's in the rear here. So you'll put the hose on here, it goes into the dump station, and then you just pull the valve out and it'll dump it. You have another one over here, which is in front of the tires, which is, let's see here, both black and gray. You'll put the hose on here, and then over here are the handles. You'll pull the black one first, because the black one is toilet water and solids, and the gray one is sink and shower water. So you'll pull the black one first, and then you'll pull the gray one, because the gray water is cleaner than the black water, obviously, so it'll wash out the hose somewhat. When you're done with that, you'll leave the black valve open. Then you'll take the hose at the dump station, and it will go all the way around again to the other side of the trailer. Sorry about the video quality when it comes to lighting, but this is the best we can do today. Over here is a black tank flush. So if you can see, it's right in front of the door side wheels. You'll put your hose, the dump station hose, onto here and turn it on, and it has a jet inside that'll spray the inside of the black tank and clean it out even better. So that's a good thing, and it just keeps the sensors cleaner on your tank, the sensors that tell you how full it is, and the tank in general, so it's a good thing. Okay, let me close this here. Okay, so you have stabilizer jacks on all 4 corners. It takes a 3/4 inch socket. Or you can use the crank, which is right there. you've got a dump hose, and the adapter is way back there, the one I told you about to adapt it down to your surface at home. And this is the hose that fits into that spray port that I showed you on the other side. Okay. You have two 20-pound tanks and a power tongue jack. The power tongue jack has a light on it, and it goes up and down just by using the switch. You'll have to forgive my camera work here. It's I'm limited here. So you have two 20-pound tanks which are full, and then you have your regulator to regulate the gas pressure down, and you also have a deep cycle marine battery under here, right there. Okay. This is a solar battery charger port. So if you wanted to have a solar panel to charge the battery, you can buy the type that has this type of plug. This is a Furrion system, and you can just plug it in there and it'll charge your battery. Okay. Now when you use the stabilizer jacks, you just want to take the shake out of the trailer, take the wiggle out of it. You're not going to lift it. You're just going to crank them down tight enough so it doesn't move, but you don't go overboard with it. It's only made to take the shake out of it, not to lift the trailer. Okay? All right, this is your slide out, obviously, which is closed right now. Now, one thing you want to remember, and this is very important, you have to go up on the roof at least twice a year, preferably 3 times. So when you winterize it and de-winterize it, so you winterize it in the spring and de-winterize it in the fall, you're going to go up onto the roof and inspect all the seals. If you see any cracking starting, it uses a lap sealant called Dicor on the roof. If you see any cracking starting, you have to get that taken care of. It's something you can do yourself, or you could have it done. But if you need to do that, you can call us and we'll explain it to you. But you got to inspect the trailer, because odds are you're not going to have to do anything, but it is a handmade trailer and it does wiggle and flex down the road. So you do at times have to seal it. So what you're doing is you're inspecting it to make sure that you don't need to seal it. So I told you in the spring and the fall you do it. It's good to go up once in the middle of the summer too, just to check out everything and make sure it's good, because you don't want water to get in your trailer. That's not this trailer, it's every trailer ever made. So that's just the way it is with an RV. So you have to inspect it. This is your water heater. Let me open it up for you. Okay. Now this water heater is both gas and electric, either or. The switches to operate it are inside. Right now it's empty. The water's drained out. This is the plug. Let me get it here so you can see it. It goes right in here, that hole right there. Right now it's empty, like I said. You never light the water heater or run the element unless you have water in there. So you really have to remember to fill it up before you turn it on. Also, before you pull the plug to drain it, you always want to pull this and let the pressure out, so you don't get soaked. So you let the pressure out, then you'll take that plug out, okay? All right. This is just a vent for your furnace. That is a service panel for your refrigerator, which you don't really have to go in there. It's just for servicing it. And this is a vent for your range hood. It does have a baffle in here. Let me open this, and you'll basically put these tabs down in the corner here. You see them, and it'll flap freely if you're using it. Otherwise, you keep it closed if you're not using it. Okay. Hopefully, I got a good enough shot of that for you. All right. These valves here are low point drains. With all valves in here, when the handle is parallel with a line, that's the line that's open. So right now you can see the low points are open. The low points are the low point of the plumbing. You open them when you winterize or de-winterize to drain the water out or antifreeze out, okay? I'll go into winterizing a little bit more right now. Let's go in the trailer. I've removed this panel here. All the screws in here have a number 2 square head on them. So you have to get if you don't have one, you have to get this bit for your drill. It's a number 2 square. Right I removed this panel right here. We're right below the range here. And this is the back of the water heater. So right now, you can see this valve right here is open. So right now, if you turn on the water, the water will go in and fill up your tank and then come out hot. This line that goes between here, this red line, this is called a bypass line. You can't get antifreeze into the water heater. So what you do, before you pump any antifreeze in to winterize it, you're going to change the position of the valve. So that will put it in bypass mode. You can't get antifreeze into the water heater because it leaves a really foul taste. So you have to bypass it first. So right now I changed that and it's bypassed, so the antifreeze will loop through this line instead of going into the water heater. So that's very important. To learn more about winterizing, you can talk to us obviously, but there's also plenty of videos, manufacturers' videos, that sort of thing, and you can learn more about it. But that's where you bypass the water heater. Okay. It's kind of cold out. We'll go over and we'll turn on the heat now. Okay. So right now I'm gonna put it over to furnace right there, so you can see the furnace lit up there. So it'll turn on. If you just heard it click on, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it just clicked on. To change it to cool, which is the air conditioner, obviously you just keep punching the mode button until cool lights up. The fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor. That's all that is. So it ventilates it, but it doesn't turn on. It doesn't actually air condition. So you would put it on cool to air condition, obviously, and to raise and lower the temperature, obviously, is right there. This is your control panel. We're going to send the slide room out right now. So we're just going to go to out. And as you can see, the slide room's going out. See it over this way. This particular slide out is called an AccuSlide. And if anybody asks, there are different types. This one's an AccuSlide. Okay, so now we're all the way out. Okay, this is where you operate the awning. You're just going to extend the awning out, and you have to kind of watch it, and you're going to roll it out so you can see the roller tube, basically. That's when you know you're all the way out. Obviously, you're going to keep it in unless you're at the trailer. You never want to leave it out because the weather can change quickly. A lot of pressure builds up underneath it, and it can get damaged very quickly. So basically, you leave it in except when you're at the trailer and you're going to use it. So I mentioned outside that you could fill the demand tank and pump your own water if you don't have city water on the campsite. So this is where you would turn your pump on right here. All right. To light your water heater on gas, you would just do this. Remember, I don't have water in it now, so I'm not lighting it. To turn it on electric, you're going to do this. That's what you're going to use most of the time because you're paying for it at the campground. You get a faster recovery rate with the gas. So if you know, let's say a couple of people are going to use the shower in a row, then you could fire up the gas and you get hotter water. It's not on demand, but it's closer then, and it heats much faster than it would just on electric. This is to turn your outside light on. Okay, and that's just the ceiling light in here. To test your battery, you push this button here. You can see all the lights lit up. It shows you that it's totally charged. Now you want to test that when you're not plugged in. So the fresh water tank that we spoke about is right here. You can see it's empty. It graduates in 1/3 increments till it's full. And so as you use the water, it'll obviously go down. And you can gauge how much fresh water you have. Now the black water, you can see there's black water 1 and 2. Well, this is a standard panel. You just have one. You just use black water 1 because you have one toilet. So you can see it's empty. As it fills up, it'll go to 1/3, 2/3. When you get to 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping it. But it'll keep graduating up till it's full. Gray tank 1 and 2, you do have 2 gray tanks on this one, as we showed you on the outside. So you check it there, which is empty, and that one's empty. Remember, they graduate up in 1/3 increments as they go. Okay? Now, this here is the power converter. Everything that can run on 12 volts DC in this trailer does. Some things have to be AC power, or yeah, some things have to be AC power, like the microwave or the air conditioner or the plugs. So you have regular household type circuit breakers here, and they're all labeled to see, you know, microwave, AC, water heater. Those are things that have to be AC power. The rest of the power is converted down over here to 12 volt DC. You have regular automotive type fuses, 12 volts, and they're all labeled. If any of these were to blow, they'll actually light up so you can see them through this tinted plastic, so you'll know that happened. Also, this is a battery tender, so it'll sense how much energy your battery has. If it's totally charged, it'll just trickle a couple amps up to it, as long as you're plugged into shore power, that is. It'll trickle a couple amps up. If it's really low, it'll send 10 amps or whatever it needs to keep it charged, as long as you're plugged in. When you're towing it, your tow vehicle will do that. It'll keep it charged, okay? This is the propane gas detector. This one, probably, let me read it here, because I don't want to give you the wrong information here. Yeah, so this is for propane, and it'll tell you if you have a propane leak. You can test it here. That's what it sounds like. If it goes off like that, you're going to go outside, shut your tanks off, and figure out what's going on. Okay, so let me back up here. You have a excuse me. You have a Furrion system here. Basically, to make you have 2 zones, zone 1 and zone 2, or A and B as this one is called. A is inside, B is outside. You can either have them both on, or want the outside on, or the inside on alone, whatever combination you want. You can stream off this USB stick, like you would with any device. It also has Bluetooth, so you can hook up wirelessly with your phone or your tablet, whatever. So it has all the normal functions. This plays CDs and DVDs. Here's the slot here. It does not play Blu-ray, but it plays regular DVDs. Of course, your TV, which is this Furrion TV, which is a heavier duty TV. It doesn't freeze in the winter time, and it's sort of resistant to vibration, so it's made for trailers. And over here is where you connect your TV, and I'll just tell you that this is the signal booster for the digital antenna. You can see I can turn it off, if I can get my finger there. You can turn it off, but you don't want to do that because you won't get a good signal on your TV. You'll just get a lot of snow and it'll freeze up. So you want that to be green, okay? This trailer has an antenna that just rotates. It doesn't go up and down. So you're just going to push up on it and rotate it to fine tune it if you need to. But it does not go up and down. Now this has a carbon monoxide detector and a regular smoke detector. So you have carbon dioxide and smoke here. Okay. This is a Norcold automatic refrigerator. So basically it's a gas absorption refrigerator, meaning it doesn't have a compressor like your refrigerator at home. So you have to give it plenty of time to get to operating temperature. So start it the day before if you can. Basically it's always going to search for electricity. So if you're plugged in, it will use the electricity. If it can't find any electricity, it will switch to gas. Or if you lose power at the campground, it'll automatically change over to gas. So all you have is on and off here, and you don't have to do anything else. It'll always seek out 110 volts AC first. So you can pull it down the road on gas, but generally, obviously, you're going to be plugged into the campground and it's going to use electricity. Okay. All right. It's got a decent sized freezer too, obviously. Okay. The microwave works like any other microwave. I showed you the vent for the range hood on the outside. This is the fan and the light. Your range just sparks to light. You spark it this way. I gotta check and see if I got the gas on. I think it's off, of course. So let me go out there and see if it's off. I noticed that the furnace didn't light either, so that means I didn't turn them on. There we go. So we'll turn them both on. Just like your grill tank, it's the same tank basically. It's just regulated down to less pressure. Okay, so now we've got gas, so we can do this again. Okay. So there you see it. I just sparked it, so I'll do that again. It lights. The oven, you have to light with a grill lighter. You can't see it very well because it's dark, but I'll do it this way if I can. Right back here is a pilot light. You'll have to trust me on that. So you have to, basically, you operate it like an old water heater used to operate, and some still do. You go to pilot, and then you depress it like that. Then you'll stick the light under here and light the pilot light. You hold it for 10 or 15 seconds till the thermocouple heats up, and then you go to your regular operating temperature. But when you go back to off, the pilot light will go off, so you have to light the oven each time you use it. So that has to be done every time. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. I don't want to forget anything. The lights that don't work with the master switch all have a button in the middle, so it really lights up in here. Okay, the table turns into a bed. This is pretty much self-explanatory. A lot of RV tables work like this. You just pull the poles out, and then you'll put the table down onto these cleats here, right here, and then fill it in with the cushions, and it becomes a bed. Over here, let's see what we got here. We've got a jackknife, so you'll just remove the armrests. Please forgive my camera work here, but I'm a one-man show here. And so you can jackknife it flat and use it for a bed. I'm going to see if I can zoom out or something with this, or zoom in, because I'm getting pretty, that's better. I don't know how I did that before, but okay, so that you could turn that into a bed also. I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to light the furnace again, because I did not successfully light it because I had the gas off. Let me shut it off here. Let me do this right. Okay. On. Okay, there we go. So, the bathroom, the shower works like any other shower. The sink works like any other sink. You have to remember that this GFCI here, all the plugs will be wired through it, even the one on the outside. So if it pops anywhere, you're going to reset this, just reset it here. Now the toilet has to have water in it to use it. Let me see if I can get back far enough so you can see it. Okay. To flush it and fill it, you use this pedal. Right now the water's not hooked up, but normally water would come squirting out of here, swirl around, and go into the black tank, which is directly below. Okay, so you get to the campground, you hook up your city water, let's say, and your power. Then you'll come in here and you'll take your chemical. Some chemicals comes in a powdered in a scoop, some is pre-measured packet, some of them are liquid. It just depends on what you buy. But the first thing you do is you'll put the chemical in there, and then you'll stand on the pedal and put about a gallon or two of water in there. The reason you do that is because it can't be used dry. It has to have water in it. So when you first start out, there's no water in it. So you have to do this procedure. Also, when you flush it, it'll only fill about up to here, right? So if you want it fuller, like most people would, when using it, you just step on the pedal, and there's a spot here where the pedal moves before, and the trap doesn't open. But when you put it like this, water will fill. It'll come out and fill it. So you can fill it as full as you want with water before you use it. You would have to do that each time before you use it. If you're at the campground for a long time and you have to dump your black tank, when you hook it back up after dumping it, you come in here and repeat that procedure. Chemical and some water, and then you're all set to use it till it's full. So you can't use it dry, and that's the bottom line. Otherwise it'll be a real mess. You have a fan up there. You want to use the fan with the shower also, because you want to pull the humidity out. These trailers are built really tight now, so they're energy efficient. Okay. The bedroom is pretty self-explanatory. There should be a sticker here that says backer plate. It must have came off, but there is a backer plate here, so you can hang a TV. You would want a bracket that swung out like this. Or let me just show you so you can see it. I'm sorry. A bracket that swings out like this. You got video here and power here. Basically, a 24-inch TV is as big as you want to go, and you want to get a decent bracket or TV bracket, something that locks into place, so it doesn't swing out and you don't have to put a strap on it when you're pulling it. So spend the extra money and get a decent one if you're going to do that. Okay, your bed comes up. You've got a foot locker. That's your power cord in there. The one we have out there that we're using is just our shop cord. So you have that. And lights and vents, air conditioner vents. All the air conditioning vents out of the ceiling, and all the heat comes out of the floor. So when you first use the air conditioner, you might get a little bit of styrofoam out of it because the ductwork is styrofoam. We run at the factory ran up, but there's still a little bit in there that'll come out, but that'll stop after you use it a few times. Okay. I'm trying to see if I've missed anything here. I think we pretty much have it. Remember, you have to check your roof and check it frequently. That's very important. Odds are you won't have to do anything, but that's why you're checking it, just to protect your investment. I'll leave you with that. Thank you very much for buying a trailer from National RV Detroit, and give us a call if you need any advice or help. Thank you.